National Beer Day is around the corner, and who better to talk about all things beer than Samuel Adams founder and brewer, Jim Koch. Jim, welcome to Cheddar.
Well, it's a pleasure having a beer with you, Kristen.
A little bit early for me with the beer, but I got my coffee here, so you've got
All right,
yours.
well, they're both brewed, and if it's brewed, it's good.
All right, we will cheers to that for sure. So National Beer Day coming up April 7th. That's on Sunday. How do you think this day helps celebrate really the history and culture of beer in America?
Well, to me, it's an artifact of this craft beer revolution. I started Sam Adams 40 years ago when America was a beer wasteland. You just couldn't get a good beer in the United States. You got the mass-produced, mass-marketed beers. You got imports that were kind of stale and usually skunky, and there wasn't great fresh beer. Fast forward 40 years, and today, the best place in the world to be a beer drinker is right here in the United States. We've got more breweries, greater variety of beer, and higher quality beers than anywhere else in the world. That's worth celebrating.
What are some of the trends that you're seeing in the beer market right now?
Well, we've got 10,000 craft brewers. All of my fellow craft brewers, are passionate and innovative. So America has become like the Silicon Valley of world beer. This is where trends start. This is where new things get invented. So the most prominent feature is just all this innovation, new hops, new yeast strains, new styles of beer. It's never existed in the history of brewing. So what we see today with the craft beer revolution is unique in the 10,000-year-old history of beer.
What is in store for Samuel Adams this year when it comes to beer?
Well, that's an easy question because right now we're kicking off Sam Adams Summer Ale. So I opened one this morning. I feel like I'm throwing out the first pitch on opening day.
Tastes pretty good, I'm sure, huh?
Yes, but I still taste a sample of every batch of beer that we make at Sam Adams. So I've been drinking beer almost every day of my life for 40 years, and I think I have the best job in the world.
Seems like you feel great with that. So let's take a look back at 1984, when the company first brewed what would become the Boston Lager. How do you feel that the craft beer revolution has really influenced and even driven innovation in the beer industry these past few decades?
Well, today as a craft brewer, that's just in your DNA. And at Sam Adams, we'll brew maybe 100, 150 different brews every year. We have a nano brewery in Boston where at any given time, we've got 15, even 20 experimental beers on tap. So craft brewers, we all believe that there are some wonderful styles of beer out there that haven't even been brewed yet. For example, we're now experimenting with new strains of hops that have unique aromatics that didn't exist before in the orange fruit and tropical fruit realm. We're experimenting with non-alcoholic beers. We make Samuel Adams Just the Haze that got the gold medal as the best non-alcoholic beer in America at the Great American Beer Festival. And now we've got a non-alcoholic Pilsner called Gold Rush, and we are working on a non-alcoholic wheat beer with a hint of various fruits in it. And that's just one little segment of what we're doing.
Jim, talk to me more about the process of perfecting Just the Haze, that non-alcoholic brew.
Yeah, that was fun because ever since I've been brewing beer for 40 plus years now, non-alcoholic beer wasn't very good. People would ask me, well, why don't you make a non-alcoholic Sam Adams? And I said, well, because non-alcoholic beers, don't taste very good. I don't want to make beer that doesn't taste good. You want something non-alcoholic drink a Pepsi or some orange juice or a glass of milk, but don't ask for a bad beer. And then about 4 years ago, we stumbled across some new technology, which is a vacuum distillation. You could brew a regular beer and put a vacuum over it, and the alcohol would magically lift out of the beer without really damaging it. You could do it at almost room temperature. So that, and then we realized when we took the alcohol out, that had a taste impact. It left a hole in the middle of the flavor. And it took us about a year to fill that with hop character, with malt character, so that we, had reconstructed a complete, wonderful tasting, juicy IPA without any significant amount of alcohol.
How do you think that caters?
I can drink a lot of beer.
Jim, cheers. How do you think that non-alcoholic option caters to what we have seen, especially among younger consumers, which is a growing trend of consuming these non-alcoholic beverages?
Yeah, I think you're seeing among everybody, but especially, as you mentioned, among younger consumers, they're out, they're drinking, but they might use, Sam Adams non-alcoholic beer as a pacer beer in the middle. They want to keep up with people, but they don't want to drink 5 beers. So they have a beer, then a non-alc, then a beer, then another Sam Adams non-alc, and they go home and they're going to work the next day and they feel great. And there's just also occasions where you want a beer, but you don't want the alcohol. To me, after a workout or after a long bike ride, I want a beer. I know it's going to taste really good, but, I have to go to work or I'm going to get back on my bike. So that's a perfect occasion for a non-alcoholic beer. You get the taste of the beer that you're craving, but you don't have to deal with the alcohol.
How else have you seen drinkers' tastes evolve?
Well, for us, we've watched them evolve in a number of ways. One is just accepting more variety in what they drink. And we answered that with Samuel Adams Seasonal. So after we made Boston Lager, we started brewing beers for each season, of course, starting with the most famous one, Oktoberfest, which is a beautiful beer for the fall. And then we came out with Sam Adams Summer Ale, which to me, it's like a summer day in New England. It's hazy, it's golden, it's light, it's refreshing, it's got a citrus note to it. So to me as a brewer, I wanted to capture the essence of the 4 seasons in a glass of beer.
I love that. I'm all about the seasons and the cycles, so I think that's great, Jim. Talk to me more just in terms about sustaining the brand's success, its innovation in the years to come. How are you focusing on that at Samuel Adams?
Well, I'm very lucky, Kristen. I have the attention span of a gerbil. So I'm always, thinking of new beers, wondering what we can do with our existing beers, even improving a timeless classic like Sam Adams Boston Lager. A couple of years ago, we came across this very traditional German brewing process that we could use to improve Sam Adams Boston Lager, the beer that got picked as the best beer in America for 4 years. You'd think, I'd rest on the laurels, but this new brewing technique was called bioacidification. It made a smoother, cleaner, brighter Sam Adams. So we had to do that.
Jim Koch, founder and brewer of Samuel Adams. Jim, what a pleasure. Cheers. I've actually got my coffee and my water, so I'll cheers you with my water.
It's all good, Kristen. Thank you for sharing a brew with me this morning. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Okay, we'll be celebrating on Sunday. Jim Koch, founder and brewer of Sam Adams.